Welcome to Takshashila Gurukul channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe immediately, press the bell button and write your comments and feedback. Share with your friends as much as possible. We provide online Kundalini Raja Yoga initiation and Kundalini activation in 6 months.
33. The meaning of the life cycle. The six-faced one is kind, the one-faced one said, the one-faced one is the one who testifies to the life cycle, Shanmukha, shedding tears of joy, saw the five-faced one with joy, and with his hands clasped at his feet, said, O Lord, save me. I will drink the nectar of the Supreme Soul that you have shown me with your ear. Please explain to me the essence of Vedanta about the life cycle. What is the life cycle, which is the form of the soul, and why did it come about? How are the souls in the body? What business do they do? How can the soul naturally exist in supreme happiness? Please explain and solve this doubt of mine. He begged, O my son, Kartike, life is only an illusion. The life consciousness that is absent in the three times ripens and comes to the fore due to ignorance. He is arrogant, thinking that the objects are his and that wealth, house, wives, and cattle are his. He is bound by pride and attachment to useless gatherings, useless stories, hymns, scriptures, vain exertion, bravery, lustful attachment and many other things that cannot be mentioned. From the three qualities of truth, the three states of consciousness and the three worldly beings are born. The beings of the wise, and the wise are the three life-conscious beings, and they are under the shelter of the great principle, and they are exalted as the three qualities of ego. Life acts as the universe in waking life, is the universe in dreams, and is wisdom in sleep, when all appearances are hidden. 5. Symptoms of ego. Listen, my son, ego is not a relation of the body, nor even a relation of the soul. It is not the relation of the body and the soul itself. It behaves in this way, different from you, inspired by you, and with great pride. You, the spirit, awaken the ego in the form of pride to shine in the inner self. If this ego were a relation of the body would have been gathered together, and when the body was burned in the fire, it would also have burned. But it does not burn itself, so it is clear that it is different from the body. If you say that ego is a relation of the soul, then just as the moon and the crescent moon are always gathered together, it should not be different from the soul but should be in the soul. But the sages forget their bodies and know their true nature and are in complete samadhi. After the yogis came to know that only the soul can exist by itself, the soul is not an element of the soul. The soul has no relation to it, it was said. Then, leaving the body and the soul in relation to each other, where can the soul itself be? Without the dual relation, the ego deals with itself in imagination. The liberated one realizes this imaginary life of ego through the pure and pure justice. The imaginary ego takes on a tripartite form due to illusion. Knowing the things of the word, the thing of choice and the eye movements of knowing, these are the three tripartites. The ego, wearing the things of blood, pleasure and pleasure, acts in various actions. Listen, liberated one. The work of ignorance that is so intense, is a subtle cause of the three-staged school of the subtle cause of the three-stage. Listen to their names. O hero, one soul has three names: the world in wakefulness, the divine in dream, and the wise in sleep. The soul attains the state of sleep in order to hide the ego that operates in the waking school body. The state of dream appears in the heart when the breath enters the heart of the benevolent soul. The same breath appears in the five elements such as the sky and the earth as awakening. Kartike is the breath of the tamas, the sleep of the sattva, and the wakefulness of the passion. These three states appear in the breath. In sleep, the living entity has a causal body composed of the unlearned element, which is composed of 17 elements, and in wakefulness, it has a subtle body composed of 25 elements, which is composed of the 5 elements, 13. The three states of the three living entities are the same. The experience of the living entity in one state is not the same as in the other two states. The experience of waking is reserved for the waking state, which is the dream state. The experience of dreaming is reserved for the dream life, Taijasa, which is not the wakefulness state. The experience of both waking and dreaming is not in the sleep state. The bliss of blissful sleep is reserved for the wise life. This contentless bliss cannot be known by the worldly and Taijasa living entities. Thus, the three states are not one within another. They are opposites. But the soul in the three states can always know the experiences of the three lives as its witness. Being the form of bliss and the soul of contentment, it is separate from the states. The knowledge that identifies itself is not possessed by the living beings in the universe. In all the three bodies, it, the soul, shines with its own light. There is no other consciousness that illuminates, knows, the soul except itself. The soul that knows itself as a visible form never experiences itself as a visible form. Although vision is always different from the visible, attachment covers the visible self and covers the entire creation of Brahman in the external world. Attachment aligns life with the dharma of samsara. The life, being inert and ignorant of the world, imagines, I am ignorant, I know nothing. This is the influence of the energy of the veil, the illusion of the third state due to the energy of the veil. The veil, the work of ignorance, leads the life to affairs in the form of illusion. Ask yourself, what kind of things does the life appear and what does it not know when the sleep of the veil energy closes? Upon waking up from sleep, the meeting of feelings is an illusion, which is like a glorious waking dream. The life sees the affairs of the illusion of this world as if it were visible. Just as the experience of the happiness and sorrow of a dream is visible to the dreamer, so the culture that appears due to the illusion of the mind in waking life is possible for the life every day. Listen to wisdom, just as in a minute dream, the illusion of the mind makes the life of a living being like a messenger last for a long time. Similarly, the life of a living being like a messenger, though it is a minute, seems to last for a long time due to the power of the surrounding energy. 20. Hamo, ego, is one, but in the three states of waking life, believing in the difference in qualities, it deals with the universe as three living beings. In the state of consciousness, the one who is a trader, in the dream, and in the sleep, the one who is truly born in the other world, these are the names of the three living beings. When the linga body comes before the soul's consciousness shines from that linga body. He who takes up the dharmas of the body and wanders in the world, he is disturbed in this world and wanders in the palace of many affairs. This is the practical life. 22. The characteristics of practical and pre-existent lives. He who has these 9 qualities, feeling, happiness, sorrow, intellect, religion, ignorance, passion, hatred, and considers life to be a virtue, and even then he acts with the logical feeling of, I am, mine, and considers it a practical life. From ignorance, he knows himself. In the 2 subtle bodies, he is arrogant in his lordship, and in the karma of persecution, he is absorbed in the pit of samsara. He is immersed in the world and is lost. This is the practical life. For him the world is empty. From that, he suffers sorrow, he sleeps tired, and sleep covers him with a cover like darkness. As soon as he enters the world of dreams, the Pratibhasika imagines the objects for himself, and through the agency of the mind he experiences sensual pleasure. In the dream state, that original Hamu got the name of Pratibhasika life. The river of dreams took on the form of many names and became a hidden sculptor. It is the name of Pratibhasika imagination. Like practical life, the imagined world seems real to the Pratibhasika in the dream state. 26. Characteristics of otherworldly life. Listen to the characteristics of otherworldly life in accordance with the Dhamma Veda. Hamu itself is the eternal soul. In the presence of the soul, it became the name of otherworldly life. The otherworldly being, who is mixed with the 8 elements of the non-material, Brahman, i.e., God, knows himself to be the otherworldly being with pure feeling. The 5 celestial elements, the sun, the moon and all the living beings, these are the 8 elements or puras of God. The otherworldly being, lies, the world of the physical life and the world of the practical life. 28. The practical being, having fallen into the abyss of the practical being, sees the sensual affairs of the dream as real. Listen, O Kuvara, then the practical being laughs at the reality of the practical being, saying that the affairs of the dream life are pussy. Thus, in the waking state, the affairs of the dream appear to the respective living beings as true in the dream. This is the irony of ignorance and the power of the veil. The Supreme Soul, who is eternally shining as a witness to the 3 states, one within the other, is not covered by the veil of ignorance. He who, through the grace of the Guru, realizes the true self, dispels his doubts through the words of the Shruti, and stands on the principle of the Supreme Self, the self-realization, is called the Paramathika. He is the one who, the supremely virtuous one, becomes a witness and attains the word of union. Just as a person who is in a dreamy state, after waking up from sleep, says, "My dream is a dream," so the otherworldly being, having broken the bonds of attachment and saying, "I am the ego," Brahman, attains liberation in the state of union. The otherworldly being, having been liberated by the grace of the Guru, having been liberated from the joy of culture, having attained union with the Lord of Life, will be immersed in a blissful spring and will attain the word of union. Description of the picture. 1. The bedroom called the causal body. 2. The intermediate house called the subtle body. 3. The courtyard called the school body. 4. The light of the self-reflection. 5. The door of the form of the body. 6. The threshold of the intellect. 7. The windows called the sense organs. 8. The wall of the house of the form of ignorance. 9. The mirror of the vision. 10. The dining hall called the awakening. The causal body is the bedroom. 1. Listen, O hero, the subtle body is the dining hall. 2. And the school body is the courtyard. 3. In this otherworldly house, the light of the self, 4, is always full and shining. There is a shutter called the enclosure power at the door of the house. When only the light of the self is shining in the bedroom, it feels like slumber. Then, the door of the enclosure, 5, is opened, and light falls on the moving threshold, 6, called the mind, and that light shines on the subtle body, which is considered a dream. The light within the subtle house, when viewed from outside through the window called the senses, karana, falls on the form of the schoolyard. 3. Listen, you who seek liberation, that is considered awakening. The enclosure is like Rahu to the living entity. When the mirror called the Hamu, 9, that covers the enclosure is illuminated, waking dreams appear. The enclosure is worn away by the practice of yoga. As it is worn away, the Hamu is worn away. When the Hamu is worn away, the living entity is worn away. Then the flow is the double birth and death, and the cloud is eternal liberation. 38. The idea of the three bodies. Listen, O good son, the school body is the home of the experience of happiness and sorrow. The idea of the body being stable is like the mind of a pig or a dog. The school body, like the food sack, has the vicissitudes of childhood, youth and old age. The one who tolerates the body-mind will eventually be born as a dog, a jackal or a crow. Listen, O son, he who thinks that he is a subtle body that has been subjected to the elements will have infinite births. He will attain heaven by virtue and go to hell by sin. In this way, life will return to the worlds beyond, like the Indian state of Rata. The original being is the witness of both the subtle and the subtle creations of the two beings, the Supreme Being, the Supreme Being, the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being is the Supreme Being, because the subtle and the subtle beings are not in the body due to sleep. The Supreme Being is the Supreme Being, because the writers here believe that he is the Supreme Being, the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being is true. You are not in the subtle and the subtle beings because you are the Supreme Being. 41. True awareness, Brahman, is in all three states. I am aware that I am Brahman when I am awake. I am aware that I am Brahman when I am dreaming. Why am I not aware that I am Brahman? I am aware in sleep, and since the Supreme Being, who has experienced bliss, says in sleep, I was sleeping in bliss, it is clear that there is awareness in sleep also. But in sleep there is no mental activity and there are no other things that are visible, there is only the self. There are no objects and objects to be attracted to, there is bliss in sleep. Although the mind and intellect dissolve in sleep, the awareness itself, Brahman, remains. Just as a tree is in a seed of cotton, the wise man, who is all-pervading and all-pervading, remains in sleep, without moving, in harmony with the body self. Then, when the breath becomes strong, sleep is known. Then the sleeper experiences states of waking dreams and the mental activities spread outwards intensely. The life-mind, being purified by the defilements of wisdom and detachment, abandons the original covering of deceit and becomes the form of bliss and knows that he is the one who, in the house of wakefulness, awareness is at rest. In dreams there is the general awareness that I am Brahman. The mind and intellect, being inactive, have dissolved in the love of the horse that the mother asked for. Brahman is at rest in sleep and exists in the form of a formless being. The implication is that the teaching of the practitioner and the teaching of the teacher only takes place in the state of wakefulness. 44. Thus, life has arisen from the breath. After realizing that he is the witness of the three lives, the life consciousness becomes pure and he thinks that he is the Supreme Soul. The illusion of ego has disappeared, and with joy the firm feeling that I am the Supreme Soul continues, he can attain liberation from life. Kanda. I have heard from the three lives. Have you listened to this without getting bored? Meditate on the fact that you are the one endowed with boons, you are the Supreme Being. This teaching is not suitable for the wicked, for the shameless, the talkative, the plunderers of wealth, for the scoundrels who destroy the virtuous, for the great sinners. Girijapati, touching the heart, explained the existence of the living beings in this way. Hearing this, Shanmukha folded his hands and bowed his head, saying, Trahi, Trahi, and imagining the image of Mohana's Shiva in his eyes, meditated on the Guru of Chidananda. 48. Table 1. The three states of life, the three states of the body, the three qualities, the three vital qualities, the names of the Chippi, the school of awakening, the Raja, the Vyavaharika, the Chidabhasa. 2. The subtle essence of the Taijasa. 3. The one who speaks, the one who dreams, the one who knows, the one who is asleep, the one who is the otherworldly, the one who is the letter, the one who is the man.